Your ego pertaining to your race. Now, a lot of people do not know what the ego is. What is your ego? And how does it pertain to your self perception, the way that you see yourself, and the way that others see you? Well, the ego is the self identity. Most people don't know that they have a self identity, right? I didn't know that until as everybody knows, I have a book coming out. I experienced a trip on marijuana, right? I was dosed by accident. I'm not going to say how, but I was dosed, right? I ate some brownies, and you know what happened. I experienced a change in my perception, right? At first, I thought things was normal, and then all of a sudden, my whole reality just disappeared before my eyes, right? Things were completely different. I felt unreal. Things looked strange, and I thought it was a joke made by Barack Obama because he was the president at the time. So after maybe about 10-15 minutes, the trip died out and I was back to normal, back to reality. And I wondered, how on earth did I experience something so crazy, so weird, so out of this world, unexplainable, ineffable? It cannot be expressed in words. So, right, the ego death, an ego death is what happened at that moment. I experienced a dissolution according to Timothy Leary. This is one of the guys who propagated LSD as well as magic mushrooms in Harvard, right? So I experienced a dissolution in my ego. Your ego pertaining to race is a very important thing. The people that you hang out with, whether you're white or black, and I'm going to go into the details of other races as well, right? So if you're a black guy, what you see in the mirror is your color skin tone, right? The darker that you are, you, you're going to experience more confidence. That's just facts. And black guys, that's why black guys always look in the mirror. They're always looking, always staring in the mirror, checking out whatever they face. Even black guys who don't even look good, they're always looking in the mirror. And it's rather annoying because with black people, from what I notice, their ego, that everything is tied to their ego. It's tied to how much money they make, how much income. And I'm telling you something, you put a black guy, the only problem with racism that black guys have is that they can't make any money. If you put them on a desert island, you give them $1 million, they'd be happy, right? So most black, a lot of black guys, not all, but most generally have a confident nature. So people in Nigeria, they're pretty confident, right? This could be explained by living in a survival place where your main enemies are the animals. If somebody on the African plains had to fight an elephant or a tiger, right? He needed to be able to look in the pond and say, "I'm the best. I'm whatever. I'm a genius." You know, Kanye West, right? He needs to look in and just say he's the best, so that he can fight the animal alone. Most of the times, you're not gonna see him fighting with friends. Now, if he fought with friends, it's called a revolution, right? Blacks have a quick way of starting revolutions quickly, and then it dissolves back into whatever. Most blacks, what most people don't know is a lot of blacks don't like being around each other, right? That's just facts. That's why blacks always kill themselves in the streets. They don't like being around each other, so they go into different huts. So the black person is individualistic by thought and by action, right? Everything is towards his individual purpose, you know? And he has a problem, or she, not only interacting, but for a long time living in the same place. Now, he may, if it's a black guy, this is from what I heard, because I'm about making money. He may go for a white woman because she may have more of a status, and she may getting food, whatever, right? But at the same time, over time, he still can't tolerate being in the same place with people, with somebody over and over. So the blacks have an ego, right? Now, I believe that the darker you are, the top of the ego chain, the more overconfident you are, and that could cause a lot of problems, guys. A lot of problems, right? Because you're too headstrong and you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. But it has some benefits. Now, if you go down the chain a little bit, you have the complexions, right? Different complexions, different egos. Now, whites now have a more, their ego is a little bit different. It's more dissolved, right? So when white guys look at each other or look in the mirror, they may say, "Boy, adults, they may have some self-doubt because their skin is what is able to make things professional. It keeps things in order, right? So people would naturally submit by chance to a white guy, right? So it makes easy to do business. So when a white guy looks in the mirror, he's seeing his reflection and he's getting signals: order, order, control, control, you know, submit, right? So he may feel a little bit of doubt, a little bit of self confidence, right, in what he does. I've said many times before in public that in the image of a black man, the white man gets his ego, his confidence, his soul. And as in the image of a white man, the black man kind of loses his ego for a bit and becomes a little less overconfident, right? Which puts him in a situation where he can learn and get structure. With black, it's just kind of like a chaotic. With white, it's structured, right? So the whites needed to have a little bit of a lower ego so that they could be more controlled, so they could build a castle, etc. So the master manipulators are the kings, sometimes the queens, and what they would do is they would make castles and tell what to do in Europe. Uh, I'm gonna go into the next video in so much depth, but the master manipulators, guys, are white passers. You need to go up the abstraction chain, bro. The abstraction chain. I'm gonna explain the abstraction chain so depth in depth, bro. Right? Along the complexion lines. The further up the complexion line you go, the less the ego. The more you're more relaxed, more whatever. So in the image of the black man, the white man gets confidence. In the image of the white man, the black man loses some confidence. Right? This is how it is. It's a constant cycle. Right? The ego is important in the way that people do things. So I'm gonna go in much depth about the ego. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for subscribing.